Hello! Perfidious Pete here, back to save this planet from alien scum the way Valerian and Lorelei couldn't save 1,000 planets. Or Alpha, or whatever the hell the name of their stupid spaceship was. In XCOM, War of the Chosen. Pete, talking about Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets. Yeah, I am. I'm actually going to rant about it a little bit here. I watched it recently, and I have to say I was confounded. Yes, thank you, Optimus Prime. I'm aware. I'm not confounded about this. The thing that has me confused is that particular movie, because I just don't understand what it was trying to do. I really don't. The whole movie seemed to be a documentary about a man who apparently thinks that if he's just smug enough, a woman will be obligated to love him. Her initial reticence to accept his, honestly, kind of bizarre proposal of marriage out of the blue in what seems to be a very inappropriate work-oriented relationship, by the way. But the lady Lorelei's reticence to accept his proposal, he seems to feel is apparently that he's not quite smugly self-satisfied enough, and if only he can become just a little more smugly self-satisfied, she'll realize that he's the man of her dreams. I don't get it. And mostly what I don't get about the movie, apart from the ridiculously stupid romantic plot, which kind of is the plot, sort of, I don't know, technically it's a subplot, but honestly, as subplots go, it takes up way too much screen time. Almost as much screen time gets devoted to that as gets devoted to the main plot, which is some weird alien fish people's quest to resurrect their planet or some shit, who the hell knows. We'll go investigate these supplies. Anyway, my main problem with the movie is that it suffers from that same thing that a lot of movies suffer from. It's got lack of realization-itis, as I like to call it, or unrealized potential-itis, maybe a better thing for it. And I'm gonna just let's delve into the particulars on it. It did a thing which I'm pretty sure I've mentioned before. Just like, here's an example of what's wrong with the film. And the answer is everything. Like, every scene could have been better with some very minor adjustments. And nothing pisses me off more than a movie that gets it close to right, but just like they can't bother to put in the effort to get it all the way there. They're hammering a nail in, and then like the last inch and a half, they just bend it off sideways, and rather than just pull it out and repound it in, they just like, you know what, fuck it, it's close enough. That really bugs the shit out of me, and Valerian and the City of 1,000 Worlds is that from start to finish. City of 1,000 Planets, City of 1,000 Worlds. It doesn't matter. I mean, I love that it's inspired, but it's still, you know what, 25, I'm actually still gonna do this. I don't want to waste the inspiration, and we're just gonna hope that in the meantime we can get a scientist. Much like I'm assuming during the script writing process, the writers of Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets thought that an actual talented writer would help out and just show up, chip in a few scenes here and there, maybe patch it up. They're like, you know, we got the rough edges of a script here. I'm sure they'll fix it in storyboarding. That's our hope here. We're hoping a scientist actually shows up and fixes this 25-day research time while we're storyboarding it. But back to Valerian and City of 1,000 Planets. I have a perfect example, and I know I mentioned this same thing when I talked about Suicide Squad and how it also was basically a giant ball of wasted potential. But it did the thing. So there's a basic paradigm in three-part storytelling, or three-act storytelling as sometimes called. It works this way. Basically, you introduce a thing, be it a MacGuffin, a plot coupon, whatever, just some important story element, to let the viewer, the audience, know that it exists. Then, in a second act, you remind them about the thing, the MacGuffin, whatever it is. You remind them, hey, the MacGuffin's still out there, look out, it's still gonna be important. And then, in the third act, you pay off the MacGuffin. You show why it's important. It has some effect on the plot. It changes things for the characters. It does something. And I know when I talked about this in Suicide Squad, we talked about the kind of the perfect example of that exists in that film, rather, which is Captain Boomerang, or whatever the shit his name was. He has this unicorn that, when they introduce him, he has a stuffed unicorn, and then later in the movie, when he's actually joining the Suicide Squad, he pulls that same stuffed unicorn out of his coat and looks at it just to, like, remind the audience, yeah, it's still there. And then we never see the stuffed unicorn again. It's like Chekhov's gun. You don't spend a big chunk of the first chapter showing that gun and then reminding people that it's still over the mantle in the second act if that gun never fires in the third act. If it doesn't fire, you wasted all of your time. And that was Captain Boomerang's unicorn. That's how it worked. And Valerian in the City of the Thousand Planets does the same exact thing. He does it a couple times, but one of, I think, the best examples is there's a scene where Agent Lorelei, for whatever reason, has to go kidnap a jellyfish, and I wish I was making that up as a plot point, but that's actually the plot point. She has to go kidnap a jellyfish so that she can put it on her head and figure out where her partner is, because that's how jellyfish work. But it's an alien jellyfish, so you know what? Fine, bygones, whatever. I'll give it to you. She has to go find this alien jellyfish and put it on her head, and she winds up in, I'm kind of at a loss to describe it. Basically, she winds up in a submarine with a guy who really wants to be a more drunken version of Captain Jack Sparrow and just fails in every possible direction. And they go to kidnap the jellyfish, which lives on the back of some giant underwater, basically dinosaur. They look like T-Rexes, except for some reason they live underwater and have jellyfishes that live on their back. And there's a couple... Hey, Optimus Prime, I'm talking here, do you mind? I'd love to have this guy decreasing our covert action duration, but we actually need him over here digging holes. They go down to kidnap the jellyfish, and Agent Lorelei, who, by the way, was in Suicide Squad, and I'm beginning to wonder if maybe there's not some not actual coincidence there, and if maybe that's par for the course. Now that I think about it, it's intriguing that she's in both. Anyway, they're in a submersible going to kidnap the jellyfish, and there's a couple lines of dialogue, and the Jack Sparrow wannabe guy says, we gotta go find one of the males. They're the ones that have jellyfish. The jellyfish live on the backs of the males, and Lorelei says, well, how do you know they're males? And he says, they're much smaller than the females. It's kind of a throwaway line of dialogue, but they've set up a thing. So they did the Captain Boomerang thing. They introduced us to these space whales and the jellyfish and said, hey, here's the thing, and then here's why it's important. And then in the second bit, they came back around to it and reminded us, hey, these big monsters are evil and nasty, and like, we don't want to piss them off. They're real dangerous. And the males are way smaller than the females. And then they kidnap the jellyfish, and sure enough, they piss off one of the whatever the hell they're called. One of the background CGI monsters, because City of a Thousand Planets loves nothing so much as background CGI monsters. But they piss off one of those, and then there's about a 3-minute chase scene where the giant underwater T-Rexes are chasing these two as their submersible runs away with the captured jellyfish. That's exactly what we wanted, was a scientist. Beautiful. And at no time does a female show up to menace the ship. There are like 4 or 5 males, and that's lazy screenwriting. How do you make that scene more dramatic and less stupid? I mean, you're never gonna make it completely not stupid, because it's still a scene about 2 adult people kidnapping a jellyfish so that they could use its psychic power to track down their missing partner, which is... yeah, whatever. But how do you make the scene more dramatic? Because it's like a chase scene, except it's a car chase, except a couple of the cars are underwater dinosaurs. But the way you really build some dramatic tension is, first off, have a couple of the underwater dinosaurs chase the submarine. That's fine. Then the submarine does a deke and a dive and dodges around a couple of them cleverly. And then what do you do to build menace for that scene? You've got your 3-act structure within that one particular scene. The 3rd act better be, remember that female we mentioned and how we knew that these were male because the female's way larger? Just have it show up. Have it show up and chase the ship. And then when they get away, it's so much more dramatic because, holy crap, you thought those things were monsters and scary. Look at this big scary monster, and look how our intrepid heroes have managed to also avoid a grisly death at its delicious jaws. But instead, what did they do? They just had the regular-sized underwater T-Rexes keep chasing them until the submersible squeezed through a sewer grate and outran all of them. That's literally how that scene peters out. And then Agent Lorelei sticks the jellyfish on her head and everybody is happy, and the missing member is sort of found. I don't know. The movie also has Rihanna in it for like 5 minutes because apparently Luke Besson really felt like he wanted to play dress up with Rihanna, and you know, I can't necessarily begrudge him that. It would be fun to have Rihanna be your paper darling for a day. I just don't know what... Luke Besson, man, what happened to you? After The Fifth Element, it's like all of your creative juice just was wrung from your body and put into that film, and you never did anything good ever again. It kind of makes me wonder, was The Fifth Element actually good, or am I just misremembering it? Because I've seen it a couple times. Granted, it's been a while since I've watched it again, but I've seen it probably, I don't know, half dozen times or so. And I remember it as being pretty darn good, pretty enjoyable. It had some cartoonish elements, sure, especially Ruby Rod and whatnot, but that was sort of part of the fun. It was kind of like a self-aware film. And it seems like ever since The Fifth Element, Luc Besson has lost that fun sense of self-awareness, maybe? Or it's, I guess the other possibility is maybe The Fifth Element was never good, and I'm just misremembering it. Maybe I'm giving it the Transformers cartoon from the 80s treatment, and that I saw it as a child and thought it was great. And even now, as an adult, when I can objectively, critically analyze it and realize, wow, it's a complete and total piece of shit, this thing is a monster turd, I still like watching it. The difference, I guess, between the Transformers and Fifth Element, though, is when I saw The Fifth Element, I was actually reasonably, I was an adult. I'd like to think I've had a reasonable sense of what constitutes quality in storytelling. I'd had some formal training in the subject at that point in my life. I don't know. Maybe Luc Besson just got old and tired. One thing is for certain, though. Luc Besson has never touched a female human. Or at least never successfully proposed marriage to one, because good goddamn, in every scene where Valerian and Lorelei talk about their relationship, you want nothing so much as to just punch them both right in the fucking head. I mean, specifically, you really, really, really want to punch Valerian, like, a lot, all of the times you could get your fist in his mouth, as many times as humanly possible. That's how many times you want to punch him in the mouth. He's maybe the smuggest man who has ever lived. That might be his claim to fame. What's your bit, Valerian? What do you do? I'm the world's smuggest man. Also, you will love me for inexplicable reasons. Even though I don't trust you and routinely kind of treat you poorly, and also am very discourteous to you publicly in front of others, you will still love me because the plot demands that you do so. It's a George Lucas level of romance. It really is. At times, it makes Padme and Anakin's relationship look downright meaningful and deep. Repositioning. Pete, you gonna bitch about Valerian in the City of a Thousand Worlds for the entire episode? You know, I'm considering it, but I suppose what we'll do instead is come up here and kill this pod of aliens. We do have some Lost that are gonna show up on the mission. Let's put you right down here, Riddick. See if we can't get these guys to come over at us. They're patrolling the opposite direction. That is not good for us. Also, they have patrolled into cover, which is likewise not good for us. I don't want to just leave these guys unattended. That seems like a bad move. Do we have a flank shot at anybody, or even a good shot at anybody? You know, we got a 66% shot at the sectoid. Alright, let's go ahead and take it. We'll activate this pod and bring him running. Riddick has whiffed it. Would you guys come closer, please? This way. Over towards me. There you go, fellas. Thank you. That's exactly what I needed. Well, we could go... Couple options here. We could go for the grenade and expose you, but if we do go for the grenade and expose you, that's going to bring more Lost, a fate which we should very much like to avoid. Alternatively, what we could do is just run down here and take a couple flank shots at you. Something which seems like a much, much better plan. We got our grapple maneuver, got us in close. Now we can dash in, take some sweet flankers. You are definitely dead. Or we could hit you for 3 damage, because that would be supremely unfortunate. That's perfect. Yeah, I'm not happy. We could also just summon some of the Lost. You know what? To hell with it. If there's a pot of Lost that's going to be about, let's get a pot of Lost about. Bring me a swarm. I feel like our boys can handle it. Also, if it gives us shots from on high, we can get more kills. If you guys have visibility now. You do not have visibility. It feels like you should probably have vision on this sectoid from there, but hey, what do I know? I'm just a man with a gun. You are a man without internal organs because we shot them all out of you. 1 ability point from an ambush kill. Can we get a flank shot at this man? We actually can't get a flank shot at this man, though. You gotta be kidding. I suppose we could shoot him in the back. I'm actually worried about missing here. Xander Cage, don't run through the fire. Alright, I was gonna be furious. You have activated some Lost. I mean, they're definitely not, Bradford. Do they look human? Oh, no, I mean, those are humans, right, guys? Yeah, look perfectly normal. 83%. Don't miss it, Xander. We already mucked it on that guy once by Captain Slappy over there coming in with the whipping 3 damage. Yeah, but I'm not worried about it, Bradford. We can kill them about as many as we have bullets. Skirmishers are going to be fairly effective when it comes to killing Lost, actually. Just because their first move doesn't necessarily end their turn, that's actually quite helpful with regard to the Lost. So let's get Riddick up here. Have him take a shot at whatever he can hit after he snatches an Illyrium core for us. Richard Riddick, always worried about the power cores for the spaceship. I mean, you can't steal a spaceship if you can't fly it, right, Riddick? You will not fail me again. I don't want to call you out too hard here on this one, Riddick, but that honestly seems like a promise that you don't have the ability to keep. Alright, Xander Cage. I mean, our scientist is still up here, so let's head back in the direction we're supposed to be going. Now that we've got those 2 Lost down. By the way, where's the swarm that our grenade was supposed to have summoned? I was sort of looking forward to killing them. Could use the EXP. That's not a swarm of Lost, though. That's just a sectoid and an Advent Trooper. And they're not going to get close enough for us to really handle effectively. There's the swarm of Lost we were looking for. It's about time you guys showed up. You want to do us a favor and maybe punch that sectoid in the back? Would be helpful. You know, give him a little love tap. Just walk up there and give him the old speed bag to the kidney kind of thing. Just, you know, just work him over a little bit. So I think what we do here, the smart... Oh, we do not have a good hit percentage. What's our chance for a Justice? The Justice chance is actually respectable. So here's what we're going to do. Can we flick the grenade? We can't. We need to be able to throw this grenade 1 tile further. Well, we can always use the grappling hook. Let's see what this gets us. This is interesting. I have a plan for dealing with the Advent Trooper, and we're going to hit him with the Justice. And there's a bonus trooper up there, which really doesn't help us. So what's our hit percentages like on some of these Lost? As many of these guys as we can get, which is actually going to be 2, by the way. Because we're going to try and throw a grenade at the sectoid, expose him, and then we're going to use our last action to grapple that Advent Trooper, although we could also just shoot him in the spine. So we can spend our last bullet if we want to. We're not going to need it. That will leave us empty. On a 78% chance, unacceptable. And there's a sectoid in this tile. That's where we want the grenade to land then. Or rather, we just need it to incorporate that tile, and we're not going to be able to do that. No, we can toss it right here. Alright. Stop it. XCOM. Knock it off. Knock it off. Right there's where we want it. Oop. Pete, you realize you just summoned another Horde of the Lost? Yes, I do. And I did. And I did it intentional. Done it deliberate. Throwing that grenade ended our turn and should not have. So, important safety tip. Make a mental note. That's unfortunate. Okay, so remember, firing the gun doesn't end our turn. Throwing grenades and explosives still ends our turn and is still very, very bad. We have done not a good thing. Can we grapple our way out of it? Nope. In fact, what we've done is grappled our way into trouble. Can you see this man from here? Yes. Okay, come take cover behind this table. It's time for you to get the shiv out, Riddick. Get to work. 73% chance to hit. It ain't fantastic, but it's the best we can do. Good enough. Give him the shank. That's our classic Riddick right there. He doesn't need bullets. Guns run out of bullets. Richard B. Riddick works without gun, just all he needs is a sharpened stake. One big hunk of metal is all Riddick needs, and he will destroy you. Xander Cage, I guess we'll bring you over here. Have you grabbed the scientist?
We have a visual confirmation on the VIP. Remember, getting that VIP to the extraction point supersedes all other priorities.
Yeah, thanks, John, for reminding me about my overall mission objective, because I had forgotten how this mission worked until you reminded me.
Secure any additional operatives if possible, but make
We can get ourselves 2 free troopers here, but I don't necessarily know how useful it is. You're gonna mind control us. Exactly what we wanted, because now we can just shoot this sectoid twice. Dom, what are you talking about? This shit is all about family, bro. You never let your family down. They're your fam. It's all you got. I do like your panic reaction, though. Got to admit, Dominic Toretto's panic response is top-notch, in that he gets angry and goes forward. Seen here, the wild Toretto, when angered, channels its fury into its foe. Do we want to rescue these other troopers, I guess, is the actual question here, and it feels kind of like the answer is no, because we don't care. You are not a dasher, you don't get to attack me. Okay, Dom is still panicked. We're also on top of a burning shipping container, which seems less than optimal. Can't. Okay, so kill this dasher. Got him with the headshot. Excellent work. Yeah, I noticed that. That's a little troublesome. I'm not gonna lie. That means we have to reload. And then we've got up to 3 more shots, one of which probably needs to go into that sectoid. Another lost dasher is dead. Anything else we've got a 100% chance on, we're gonna take it. Why do you guys got this long pause between each of your shots? It's like watching a Harold Pinter play here. There's too many really long pauses. There's a promotion which we desperately needed. 85% is probably acceptable. Damage is done. Sectoid is dead. Rosanna Sanchez. You know what? We'll come back to you, Rosanna Dana. We have no other enemies on the map that have guns. Yeah, we actually don't. As you order. So come out here, and any lost dashers that you can kill, regular lost, regular lost, regular lost, regular lost. So no dashers on the menu then. Take the headshot. That's 1 more kill for Dominic Toretto. We could have you fall back. You know, I was thinking about having you fall back, but honestly, it seems to be like the better way to get you out of trouble would be to just have you grapple. I mean, we got the grapples, let's use the grapples. In fact, get the grapples and rescue another trooper. We got to get used to this extra bizarre plane of movement that we have access to. And then we can reload. Richard B. Riddick, we're going to take you up here. We're going to see if we can grapple you anywhere cool. Well, I mean, you know what? That'll do. Grapple up here. Riddick getting sprung. Because, you know, he saw Rhoda Mitchell and he's like, Rhoda Mitchell's real pretty. I'm getting sprung. Want to pull up tuck because I noticed that butt was stuffed. What can you do from this rooftop? Wow, you're a terrible shot, though. Even on top of this roof, you still have in the 90s with regard to hit chances. It's a good thing you brought plenty of grenades. You don't have the Harold Pinter pause between each of your shots, though, so, you know, I do appreciate your swiftness, your alacrity. That's a remarkable and admirable trait, Giordano.
It's killing time. No rounds.
See if we can get a shot here for old Xander Cage. He does not have any kind of shot at all. Can he grapple to this rooftop? Yes. He will have a shot from over here. All right, we'll grapple over. And then he should have... The game has told me a falsehood, in that it assured me I would have a shot from where I was, and I patently do not have a shot. I don't appreciate your deception, XCOM. Alright, Dominic Toretto, you're going to need to be unpanicked, like, very quickly. Oh, wait, that's not... Okay, that's Calder. So probably what we'll do is shoot as many people in the head as we can shoot, and then grapple our way to freedom. So you're dead. Your grapple's on cooldown, though, so the grapple to freedom part of that is not really going to work out. Let's not feed any more kills to you than we absolutely have to. Great shot, Xander Cage. Want to try again? Alright, so, you know, better on the second shot. Did get a promotion. Second action, we're going to have to use the reload. 75% chance for Dominic Toretto from this rooftop. There it is. And I think we're good, because everybody's dead now.
I will move.
We got them all, right? That's a clean sweep. Everybody's good. What about that other trooper over there, Pete? You gonna go rescue him? Nah. They're not, it doesn't, even if we rescue them, it doesn't really do us any good. They're not a skirmisher. That's the thing about Xander Cage, man. He's all about family. Or not Xander Cage, rather, but Dominic Toretto. He's all about family. If you ain't a part of the family, it doesn't matter. He's not family yet. That man over there, he's the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to our Paul Walker. Paul Walker is family. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, not family. We'll risk everything to save Paul Walker. If only we had risked everything to go down to a fucking Lowe's and buy a chainsaw. Might have actually saved Paul Walker, but I digress. We'll risk everything for Paul Walker or Giordano Brewster or, you know, a Ludacris, somebody like that. And no risk is too dangerous, deadly, or stupid. Like, we'll violently windshield cannon ourselves out of a Abrams tank speeding down the highway if they're even a moderate amount of danger. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, we're not going to help him at all. He's, Dwayne, sorry, you're on your own. It's a good thing for The Rock, he's pretty self-sufficient and reliable, though, because none of the Fast and Furious family's helping his ass out. You can bet your sweet, sweet, shapely behind on that one. Are we done yet?
Moving.
I don't know why I'm being conservative with my movements. Well, okay, I mean, this is a reason. There's another chance to kill some Lost here. Dom. Nice shot, buddy. Dominic Toretto delivering the goods. Free kill. We need to rack up as many kills as we can here on anybody who does not yet have a promotion. Toretto, you got promoted. You did not. Can we grapple you somewhere where you'll have some shots?
Repositioning.
So we're taking Riddick to the rooftop. It's a rooftop Riddick. 2 chances for Riddick. Score 1. Second chance. It's a whiff. We can no longer make it to the exit, so now we're fighting. Yeah, you know, you may want to not rush the judgment on the whole triumph assessment. You really feel that triumph. There's our scientist. Giordano, you'll be our backup. Xander Cage, we're going to run you up here, have you take shots until you run out of ammo, and then hit the bricks. And we're going to do it. Great fucking shot, Cage. Yeah, you sure as hell did, and now in order to save your life, we're going to have you go ahead and evac. Extreme sports enthusiast Xander Cage delivers the goods.
I will go.
We're missing a lot of really high percentage shots here. Just throwing that out there. Also, a lot of our shots are not really as high percentage as we might like or expect.
I have little ammo remaining.
Actually, you have no ammo remaining there, Calder Hunter. So you're going to use that second action to reload. Sanchez, why don't you go ahead and beat it? Rosanna, Dana gonna get out of here. That leaves us Scourge and Giordano.
We should get the rest of our people to the extraction point as soon as possible.
You know, Bradford, don't tell me how to XCOM, okay?
Worse our chances look.
I've been XCOMing for a while now, and I'd appreciate it if you just keep your opinions to yourself. Dominic Toretto's got to put on a shooting display down here. Giordano, if anybody's gonna get hurt, we should prefer you to be that someone. You know what? Just be on Overwatch. I actually don't want you taking kills from our actual team, if possible. They should all be able to easily make it to the extraction zone on our next turn and get some bonus kills on these lost, just for funsies. With regard to Giordano, I'm sorry, but we don't really care if you live or die. It's like when we first met the guy from Tokyo Drift. I mean, he wasn't family. He later became family, but you're not there yet, Giordano. You're not there yet. We don't want to fuel any more kills to Toretto. You already got a promotion. I don't want to fuel any more kills to you, because you're not going to necessarily make it out. Calder Hunter, we can give you some kills, though. There's 2 on the table. You want both of them? He gets a first helping, and goes back for seconds. There it is. That's my boy.
My weapon is nearly empty.
What do you do? You're doing the Harold Pinter thing, though. Stop with the pauses. Everybody go. Riddick, get to extraction.
Advancing quickly.
Please let me make you leave, then.
Ready to boogie.
Deployment complete.
You keep saying ready to boogie and deployment complete, but then I'm trying to make you guys do stuff, and the game just sort of hangs. There's some weird interactions with, like, the animations, maybe?
XCOM operatives are secure. Firebrand is returning to base.
Yeah, we got an extra mouth to feed, but not for long, because that person is definitely getting fired. 29 kills, flawless mission, take a mission photo. You know, I need a little bit more... Excuse me? This is a Fast and the Furious advertisement poster, and second fiddles are not allowed to appear in said poster. We're just gonna... I don't want to be accused of cropping you out, but this one feels like it needs to be a little bit more... Vin Diesel focused. XCOM is back, and Advent is doomed. Actually, this looks like an H. I thought it was saying do head, and I was like, what the hell is a do head? Give me that sweet, sweet Vin Diesel look, though. 4 slices of Vin Diesel. Enough Vin Diesel to make 2 Vin Diesel sandwiches. Or rather, put yourself inside of 2 slices of Vin Diesel, and you could make yourself a double-decker Vin Diesel sandwich. Who wouldn't want to be the meat in a Vin Diesel sandwich? What kind of meat you think would be in a Vin Diesel sandwich? Like, I'm not talking about that kind. I'd be like, if there was, you know, like the restaurants that do the celebrity menu items where every menu item is named after some manner of celebrity. If you went and ordered the Vin Diesel, what kind of meat do you think would be in it? It'd have to be something kind of tough, but yet also yielding and supple. Feels like a corned beef. Yeah, it's okay. It's either corned beef or pastrami. I'm thinking probably a Vin Diesel's got some corned beef in it. Total combat. Throwing a grenade or using an item no longer ends the turn. Well, we had hoped we had that earlier. When fired upon, gain 1 extra action the next turn. Triggers once per mission. This is maybe one of the worst abilities we've ever seen. It gives you 1 bonus action on a subsequent turn after somebody shoots at you. That's fucking terrible. Saturation fire would be great if we had a high damage weapon, but we don't. So we're just going to take total combat because it really does seem like the go-to skill on this tier. Tactical rigging is surprisingly useful as well, but again, we're going to go total combat. I'm pretty sure everybody is taking total combat.
Commander, each of our soldiers is rated based on their understanding of...
Well, of course Richard B. Riddick would be a gifted combat intelligence. He's fucking Riddick, man. Didn't you see where he killed that guy with the teacup one time, Bradford? Like, what, are you going to kill me with your soup cup? And he's like, tea, actually. And the guy was all confused, and then it's like, I don't get it. And then he's like, it's a teacup. I'm going to kill you with my teacup. And then he killed him with the teacup. And then for the next man, he just pulled, like, the crank out of a tin of sardines and set it on him. And that dude ran away because he did not want to be killed by the little metal crank from a tin can of sardines. And I can't say that I blame him.
No casualties. You could lead the Reapers any day, Commander. Well done.
There were no Reapers on the mission, Volk, but I appreciate the praise nonetheless. Giordano's awaiting orders down in the armory. Will do, Dr. Tigan. Yeah. She's still awaiting ordnance. And also orders. Orders. Giordano's awaiting orders down in the armory. Fortunately for her, I'm only going to give her one order, and it's going to be pretty easy for her to follow. And that order is going to be get the fuck out. There you go. Easily taken care of. Well, she's not a great trooper and she wasn't around long, but the one thing you gotta give her, she is obedient.
We've had our suspicions, but before now, we've never had the resources to investigate the possibility of clandestine Advent facilities built up outside the city centers.
Really, Bradford? Because it seems like that's exactly the kind of thing a guerrilla organization that's trying to avoid the overwhelming concentrated power of its vastly superior equipped foe would do. Like, you can't go fight at the city centers because you're grossly outmanned, outgunned, and outnumbered, but screwing around out in the outskirts looking for isolated facilities seems like exactly the kind of thing a guerrilla operation should be doing. Also, we did not start... Actually, didn't mean to do that, but okay. Can't increase combat intelligence, even though that gives us a promotion, +1 mobility. What we want is anything that gives us a promotion. Like, anything that has a promotion, and we have no potentials that give us a promotion. Fantastic. We could really use an extra engineer.
This operation is going to require some field experience, Commander. We'll need to send one of our vets to lead the effort.
What are you talking about? None of these require anything. The one I want, I can't do. All I want is the promotion. We got to get somebody ranked up as quick as possible. Cheap promotions are the easy way to do that. That allows us to unlock the GTS and get an extra squad member. Picking up 17 ability points seems useful. It takes 2 of our soldiers and one of them gets +2 aim. I'm okay with this. An as-yet unnamed Vin Diesel and another as-yet unnamed Vin Diesel. You guys can go handle that. It's going to take you 9 days. That's fine. Mostly, I just want to get you out of my hair and wrap up the episode. If you enjoyed this one, feel free to drop a like down in the comment section. Support really does mean a lot. If you'd like to see more Fast and Furious, high-flying grapple action... Pete, did they ever use grappling hooks in the Fast and Furious franchise? The strange thing is, despite it being mostly car chases, yeah, they've actually used a number of grappling hooks in various and sundry different films. I can think of at least 3. The grapple gun, apparently a favorite go-to mechanic for a Michael Bay action sequence. If you want to check out more of that sweet Michael Bay action, get it? Action. Might consider subscribing as well. Post new episodes of XCOM every single day right now. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you again soon.